Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising, October 2023 promises some up levels in your finances and career trajectory, as well as possibly some significant changes there. We're going to talk about how some of this plays out financially for you in the month of October. And please listen for your rising sign. It's probably most accurate, then Sun and Moon secondarily. If you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. I'm using Western Tropical Zodiac and whole sign houses. And today we're going to talk about how the ancient world looks at this story for you for the month of October. There are eclipses this month, and because of that, I am not going to dive into them other than to say we have one big eclipse coming up at the end of the month in your career house, and we'll talk a little bit about that just for you. But if you want to know more in-depth information about these two eclipses, one in Taurus and one in Libra, and how they may show up in your months afterwards, please join me in my free webinar to dive into how this looks for you and your sign based on your rising most accurate. And in the information box below this video, you can sign up for that free webinar for October the 3rd, and there will be replay content available, so you do not have to wait around for it. If you can't attend live, you can listen later. Let's get going and look at the sky. Wow. So I find that months when planets change signs, which is what's happening here, always refreshing. So we have 3 planets changing signs, and it's going to mean there's going to be a big feel of a huge difference than we had, let's say, in the month of August, even into July, in which planets were spending a lot of time in the same place, particularly Venus, but also Mars. So what we have going on, we're going to start with is planetary changes. Then we'll go into a chronology of the month ahead by highlighting the dates that you should pay attention to. Now, number 1, we have Venus, the goddess of love and money, making a big change after 4 months in Leo, the house of you. I hope you felt, Leos, a little more lovable, a little more self-loving, a little more pretty and or handsome, charismatic and charming, congenial and friendly. You should have had a bit of a glow up June through to Venus's leave taking of Leo, which she's getting ready to do October the 8th. So this has been a rare event for you. We haven't seen Venus and Leo like this in your lifetime, my lifetime, for 4 whole darn months. And that's because of her synodic cycle with the sun. And now she retrogrades in Leo, as she did in the summer, star points, and creates a huge energy field around that Leonine sky. And you benefited from it, I do hope. Now, as Venus gets ready to leave, then she moves into Virgo this month, and that's your second house of earnings. Now, you should enjoy this as well. Even though she's in the sign of Virgo, which is known to be in debility or her detriment, she is still a money goddess in a money house. And she's going to be teaming up in the month of October from the 8th onward with Juno, the goddess of partnerships, business and love, meaning that contractual agreements, partnerships, and business agreements are very, very favored for you for the entire month of October, really. So get ready for that, because she will not leave your second house of earnings, finances, and spending and money until November the 8th. A cautionary note: sometimes Venus can spend a lot of money, especially on items that bring pleasure and luxury. So possessions that could be costly can be purchased during this window of time as well. Is that a good idea? Probably it's okay, because Venus is trining her from your 10th house, offering sort of a benefic support structure, but just be cautious that you do not overspend. What you really will try to do here with Juno and Jupiter is create new opportunities in your business, in your career, for greater success financially. And that can look like raises or promotions or new jobs even, especially with Juno for contracts. When Venus is moving through Virgo and she is doing her thing, she could change her food style. She's about what you enjoy, what brings you pleasure, what you desire. And she's in the house of things you eat. And so I would say that a lot of Leos may change their food style and mitigate, change, revise how they eat. Maybe you've been trying hard to be keto or vegan and it's not bringing you any joy and pleasure. And Venus will help you remember the joy of eating and choosing some foods that are more satisfactory. Now, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you are a subscriber, please subscribe as well. I would really, really appreciate that. I mean, if you are a viewer, but you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It helps the channel algorithmically grow. Thank you. One of the things I want to talk about next, though, after the Venus movement story, is I want to talk about Mars moving away from Libra and into Scorpio. And that's important. That happens on the 12th of October, and he will be there all the way through to the 3rd week of November. Mars in Scorpio is in the house of your home. This is what you do alone at home, home alone. It's your privacy. It's your interior life. It's how you, what you do in your downtime that nobody sees you doing, your domestic life. And unfortunately, sometimes when Mars is here, it can lead to strife or conflict in the home. So if you are somebody who has somebody living with you in the month of October, watch out that you don't end up having arguments with those children, with your roommates, with your spouse or whatever, or they're arguing with you. It is a bit of a testy energy for sure. And so watch out for that beginning on the 12th of October through to the third week of November. When Mars is here, though, you can travel from home, travel far away from home. You can make changes in the home, maybe even construction or renovation, hammers and saws. So there's that possibility as well, beginning on October the 8th. Mars in Scorpio is in his dignity, but he's also invisible. And an invisible Mars is a planet that definitely has less potency. He's not so much about the outer actions and the outer decisions and the outer passions as he is in the inner, quieter space within that fourth house. He may be asking you during October 8th to November 24th to look at your deepest motives, Leos, for what it is you wish to accomplish and achieve in your career, in your relationships, and in your life, but also with where you live. And so pay attention to that deeper motivation energy, because his willpower, motive, and drive can be of great value to you once he becomes visible in the month of January. All right, we'll keep that story for later, but he could even bring you January onward a new home if it involves rental property. Now, when we also want to talk about planetary changes for that breath of fresh air, is Mercury is doing 3 signs this month. But first of all, most importantly, he's finishing Virgo. Mercury was moving through Virgo for an inordinate number of months, and that's because he had a retrogradation there. I think it was around the 23rd of August. So it's about a 2-month stay in the sign of Virgo, which happens to be a place in your chart connected to your earnings. With Mercury here, you may have been changing your financial structures by buying or selling things to make money. My daughter is somebody who, well, I won't talk about that now, buying or selling things. You may also be somebody who could have made some kind of fundamental contractual agreements regarding jobs, money, and earnings while Mercury spent for 2 months plus in your second house. But he gets ready to get the heck out of there, and that's going to be a change for him on October 5th, and he's going to move into Libra. And he'll be into your third house until October 21st. So from October 5th to October 21st, this is going to feel interesting for you, because when you get that energy of Mercury in the third house, there's a lot of communication going on. You may be phone calling, emailing, texting, or writing people. You may be very busy in your social media or neighborhood environment, socializing. It could activate a huge amount of energy around a writing project, if there's some kind of writing project you're doing, or a huge amount of energy around how you communicate or work with or do communication from social media platforms as well as websites. So a lot of this energy gets generated during these months. Mercury does like to be a traveler. He is a protector of travelers. And so short distance travel and skills-based learning, signing up for courses to learn a skill, going on shorter based trips, driving trips or domestic travel can be very much a part of the narrative for Leo risings between this October 5th and the 21st. So why not go for it? Later on, we have his movement on the 21st on the 22nd into the sign of Scorpio. That's that real estate, home, and property where Mars is. And for some of you, that can be definitely energy around harsh communication in the home. Be really cautious the last, 8-9 days of October for serious combustible discussions, arguments, and disagreements in the home. On the other hand, Mars is about change and Mercury is about buying and selling and mercantile. And some of you, with support from Lord Saturn in your 8th house of mortgages and chunky money, may indeed buy or sell a home sometime after October the 22nd. And that promise can be very true for about 3 weeks. So it will take you into November with a potential purchase or sale of a home. Also, you may negotiate things to do with your home, negotiate with a contractor to fix a home, negotiate with somebody in your home, Mercury, to come to a truce or a halting of aggression. So there is a potential for some clearing up misunderstandings as well when Mercury enters into that 4th house, October 22nd onward. So those are the big energy changes. Now we're going to draw your attention to some of the point-by-point structures. Now, although I'm not doing eclipse stuff here, which is a new moon, full moon, which happen to be eclipses, I will make one exception or two during these videos. And for you, with a 10th house eclipse, coming up on October 28th. The last of the series of eclipses that started way back in November of 21. I'm pretty sure a lot of Leos have seen some big changes in their career, and in fact, expansion and growth of their career. And now with Jupiter here until the end of May next year, again, more luck, growth, and expansion in your career. This last eclipse, right, that's happening here at 5 degrees of Taurus also involves a node of destiny, the North Node, in your ninth house. So there could be a feeling here that the end of October could stimulate something over the 6 months that follow to do with some expansion and change in your career, but connected to international, foreign lands, academic environments, or even things to do maybe with book publishing, if that is relevant to some of you Leos. So ninth house, 10th house things are both indicated at the same time. So you may quit your job to go back to school. You may get some kind of international contract job offer. You may go work for an NGO or a humanitarian organization, ninth house stuff. But some of you have some changes in your career spinning off of that last eclipse, especially if your ascendant sun or moon is in the first 10 degrees of Leo. So moving away from those stories, let's go into the chronology of the month ahead. Number one, we're starting the month with Mercury still in the sign of Virgo, but he's going to do something really, really cool. Let me get the timing for you right. Is going to come into a trine to Pluto. From the late degrees of Virgo, he has a lucky flow to Pluto. This is second house and sixth house matters. Could be very fortunate circumstances financially regarding work and job. Also, financial goodness can come here as well through changes in rental properties that you might want to move to, and you get your ear on a new rental property or rent a property out. Possibly your health can be improving dramatically as a result of this energy as well. If you have any health challenges connected to things you may ingest, you may overcome them as a result of this trine. This will be happening at the beginning of the month, like October 1st to the 3rd. Now, he will also be in a bit of a difficult position in regards to Neptune, and we call that an opposition. And there may be something going on also in the first 3 days of October where you really have to deal with some kind of confusion or uncertainty, maybe even dispelling some kind of fantasy about your investment monies, your 401k, your bank loans and mortgages, or money you share with your spouse or business partner. There's some kind of needing to clear it out and clean it up, especially with Mercury and dignity in Virgo, to almost like take a look at the books and clean up some of the back end of your money. And that again is October 1st to the 3rd. Moving forward, then we go off to October 8th to the 10th, and we have a Mars square Pluto. Whoa, that's not easy energy. Mars has now moved into Libra, and that's a place of, well, he's still in Libra, and that's a place, because he's in Libra till October 12th, and that's a place of his detriment. Pluto is in the late degrees of Capricorn, your sixth house of work, of pets, of tenancies, of rental agreements. And you're going to have a tension here from your third house of younger sibling or siblings in general, the third house of travel trips in your online world and things to do with learning. It's a tough one to kind of suss out these third house, sixth house axes here. There may be some tension going on here, and you have to be careful. I mean, Mars has been for 6 weeks basically going through your third house. That can be car accidents or, issues with, it can often lead to travel as well, but sometimes issues with your car. But Mars is squaring Pluto. And watch for conflict with a boss or somebody in authority, someone who's a powerful figure in the work you do in your life. And if there's a disagreement, it may be about things to do with what's going on in your travel plans or learning plans, being at odds with something in your work life. And that tension is very short-lived that we're talking about October 8th to the 10th, but it is definitely something to note. Also, Venus will be opposite Saturn at the very same time. Now, Venus opposite Saturn, she's still in Leo, she's in the sign of Virgo, and she's going to be looking at Saturn in your 8th house. So it's second house, 8th house energies. It's all about the money. So money stress there. You can even say there's maybe some money job stress as well because of the Pluto Mars thing. So Venus is like, can we get some money? Can we make some money? Don't forget, she moved into the sign of Virgo on October the 8th. And she would like to help you financially. And around 8th to the 10th, she forms in opposition to that retrograde Saturn at 0 degrees of Pisces. What is this conflict you may experience about your savings and earnings and versus your earnings? There may be a major expenditure. There may be something you need to spend money on around that time, October 8th to 10th, and you may feel very uncomfortable with it. I think though, however, Saturn is going to help you actually do the thing you need to do, buy the thing or spend the money on the thing you need to do. and it will be worth this expenditure, but you may feel uncomfortable, all right, about it. Or there's some difficulties with your 401k and your stocks, and I expect everyone's going to feel that pressure in October for other reasons. Go listen to my Mars video through the sign of Libra, explaining a potential stock market problems. Be very conservative with your investments and money over the next while. With Saturn moving through your 8th house, he's encouraging you to do that as well for the next 3 years. On October the 12th to the 14th, Mars moves into a trine to Saturn. So this is that chunky money, that, investment money, inheritance money, stock money, 401k savings, shared money with your partner or business and love. And Saturn's sitting there, and I told you, it's been tense, right? We've been having issues here. Like Venus was opposing Saturn 8th to the 10th of the month of October, but October 12th to the 14th, and Saturn comes into a flow with Mars, and that kind of like almost wants to soothe the situation out or mitigate the tension from the 4th house. Now that can be some opportunity to make some financial gains or advantages through buying or selling of real estate, moving your home, or indeed doing something exciting, actionable, and passionate, and fully focused from your home, because Mars Saturn is like achievement energy. It's like, go for it. So you've got the gumption, the strength, and the endurance to achieve something important that you're doing in your home, from your home, or about your home. And it involves that shared money in your 8th house. So sometimes it's like refinance a house, sell a house, buy a house, get some inheritance money squared away. This is October 12th to the 14th. October the 19th and you haven't seen this Mars, flowing to Saturn in this way in your sky since 1995. And before that, 1965. So relatively rare, fortunate energy. So it is extremely important to know that. And then October the 19th to the 21st, Mercury comes into the heart of the sun. It's called a cazimi. Now, Mercury in the heart of the sun on the day of the cazimi, the 20th, is really good for downloads and insights and ahas in Libra, your 3rd house. So some insights and ahas about a writing project, about a website, about social media stuff, about something you're learning, or something you wish to teach is very possible October the 20th. That larger range of October 19th, 20th, which is connecting to the sun, is also forming a square to Pluto. This is going to be a T-square, and it's very tense energy in the sky. And because Mercury is on the south node, the north node's opposite, it's a very destined bending of the nodes of fate energy that's being formed by this square. Pluto is like power. Pluto is, catastrophically intense energies around, not I would say catastrophically, but crisis and conflict that makes us change it, creates transformation. And it's in your work and health house. And some of you may be facing a critical moment of decision, ideas, or action coming off of that T-square, October 19th to the 21st, around what you wish to accomplish in your life, around things to do with the work, job, and health stories. It can take maybe a little time to unfold fully. We maybe want to get Mercury out of the sun, so waiting maybe 8 to 10 to 15 days later to see where it all spills out. But there is a kind of a crucible energy here. I'll be doing a whole video and a webinar on it, so join me for that. Mercury is with Persephone at the time of this cazimi, and she's like the victor, not to be a victim, but transform circumstances of difficulty into power, because Persephone, abducted to the underworld by Hades, or Pluto, then became the queen of the underworld and had incredible power. So there may be a movement in your sky for empowering you around siblings, travel, learning, work, but also with that Pluto square, things to do with your job, or how you perceive the work you're here to do in the world, making a big change perhaps as a result of this intensity on the 20th of the month. Moving into a further story on the happy story, the happy week is October 21st to the 24th. I love this week. I can't wait to do the week ahead on this one. It's such a good vibe. Venus is trining Jupiter. Yay! That's luck upon luck, it's good upon good. Even with Venus out of dignity, it's a positive story. Jupiter is in her sign. She's directing him on what to do. So this is about your 2nd house of money and earnings. This is October 21 to 24, and your career house, and some kind of energy picking up here, allowing you to flow with luck and ease and grace into a new job offer, being loved by the boss, a raise or a promotion, these kinds of things are important at this time, and it looks very, very successful. At the same time this is happening, the sun will be in a trine to Saturn. The sun will be now moving through the Scorpio season, October 21st to 24th, early degrees of Scorpio flowing to Saturn in your 8th house. Now with Mars here as well, this is a really good energy for getting that house sold or bought or purchased, or making important changes in and from your home that are going to benefit your long-term finances. And with the sun in your 4th house, there may be an impulse to do things that are connected to your financial well-being and career as it revolves around where you live, your home, and your home structures. Honestly, Sun Mars in the 4th may move some of you to a new home, and that trine to Saturn can suggest a really powerfully successful move to a place that's really going to anchor you, and you're going to feel like it could be a longer term move, that you would like to stay where you move. And that's going to start to open up as a door of opportunity again, October 21st to the 24th. All right, moving into, and it could be a rental because of Pluto in the house of rentals, right? The 6th house. So there's, again, from that earlier story, a suggestion. Some of you may also acquire a new rental property or rent out a property as a result of this. As we move forward, we have October 27th to the 30th, and it's going to be an interesting time. We have Mars opposite Jupiter. We haven't seen Mars moving through Scorpio opposite Jupiter in Taurus since 1999, and before that 1976. So again, it's the rarity of it. And while Mars is moving October 27th to the 30th through the sign of Scorpio, of course Mercury has joined him, right? So Mercury here now, as of October 22nd, right, is in place, now meeting up with Mars. So a Mars-Mercury combination can be aggressive communication, passionate speech, actionable words. But then we have that oppositional energy to Jupiter, and that's a little harder. Okay, that's like, okay, they're at 11 degrees, by the way. So if you're a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising near 11 degrees, you're really feeling the tension. It's like, what needs to break here? It's explosive tension between work and home environments, between reputation, career, and work, and something you're trying to accomplish, do, or get going in the home. We got support from Saturn and a chunky money. Refinance the mortgage, change your home, do what you're needing to, rent a new home. But wow, watch out for like tension with the boss at work. Watch out for explosive cutting off energy. If your midheaven is floating in the 10th house and your IC is in the 4th, even more so, watch for intense energies on the October 27th to 30th. It may have you up and quit your job or up and change your home instantly because of what's going on here at that time. October 31st, though, ends so strong, so strong. Venus is going to flow to Uranus in a trine. Now, we have to go back and remember that she flowed to Jupiter as well, October 21st to 24th. And that's the same energy field that we saw then that I said was so good, but now it's engaging the god of the unexpected. Unexpected something or others are happening here for you in the sky with the sun flowing, with Venus flowing from Virgo, your earnings house, to unexpected developments in your work and reputation space. Clearly, there's going to be some up level of your work, your reputation in this time frame where you could suddenly find yourself really excelling in your, like getting a pay raise, getting the best job you imagine, getting a promotion or a raise or something like that. Is financial goodness coming from on high, from someone in power, likely in the work environment or in a career endeavor or job search endeavor. So we end strong for the month of Leos. We end really strong for the month of October. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And come to my webinar that's going to be in early October. I think it's the 3rd. I might change the date. Just check the description box below for when we have, maybe a little bit the 2nd week of October now that I think about it. But that webinar is going to teach you everything you need to know, about this last 2 eclipses, the last eclipse in Taurus and the oh my God, my brain. Last eclipse in Taurus and the first eclipse in Libra. And you'll learn how to handle those eclipses based on your rising sign. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys hopefully in my community. Come join me in my Patreon, especially. They get this early access ad-free video recorded in around the 21st of September. And they get it before you ad free, and they get it always ad free forever. So if you want that kind of content for $5 a month, 2 to 3 meetings a month with me in Zoom privately with smaller groups of people, come check out my Patreon community. Big special that's ending in September September, but I'm promoting it now anyway because I'm still recording in September. Come join me and get 2 free classes on relationship synastry and on how to find Chiron as the key to purpose in your chart, plus the remaining 2022 all sign videos for free. If that is something you're into, then you're gonna check out my Patreon community and see if it's something that you would like to do. And you can quit anytime. Bye guys. Ciao, ciao.